Hey everyone, my name is Ellen. This is Doug. This is week 1 of level 2 Musicality at the 920 special for May of 2016. And the theme this week was macro musicality, so looking at the bigger picture of the song structure and how that can inform our dancing to really easily fit together with the music and with our partner. So we talked about the AABA structure. Well, actually, first we talked about the introduction.
Finding one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about how music for musicians is in measures of 4 beats, but we mostly think about 8 counts. And so each 8 has like a beginning and an end, and the beginning of each 8 is a 1. And so we practiced listening to the music and hitting that 1. And then we talked about how at the very beginning of a song, there's often an intro that sounds a little bit different, and then sort of the whole band comes in and the song really starts at the 1 right after the intro. So we practiced finding that 1 at the beginning of the song, and then what each 8 count chunk of the song feels like. And that moved into
mapping out what a song looks like. So we listened to the introduction to a song, and then each mark was for 8 beats of the song, which was like a swing out. And our choreography for this was a swing out, swing out, swing out, Lindy circle. And we listened to the song and we heard how each chunk, each phrase sounded the same, different, and the same. That's why we called it AABA. Very common structure in swing and dancing songs. Not the only one, but probably one of the most common.
Yep. So, for example, the song Flying Home, which is really famous, the melody goes da 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 da.
Again.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Yeah, it gets really, really different.
Yeah, so very different through here, and then it rolls back to that same da 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 for that last set of 4 8 counts.
We listened to the whole song, and they did different instrument solos. It still maps the same structure, AABA, for this song. And we also talked about at the end how oftentimes the 4th 8 of the phrase will be slightly different. So in this example, da da dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 ba ba doo boo boo, something different. And so that's why we did swing out, swing out, swing out, circle as a little thing that's different.
Yeah, so just a little bit of vocabulary. This individual group of 4 8s we call a phrase. And then this whole section, A, B, A, we call a chorus. And songs are generally made up of choruses. And even when it goes into the solos, we talked about how it still has this sort of same general structure, even if it's not quite as obvious as the first chorus, or it's sometimes called the head of the song.
So a lot of that information is informing the leaders because they are determining what moves they're going to do, but it's also very powerful for the followers because if I want to add in some spice or some flair, I'll often do it on that last one that's very different since I know the phrase is going to reset, and that's a very obvious, clear thing to hear in the music. So I can get a little crazy on that one and look at my partner and we can sync back up with a rock step on this one very easily, and that lets me determine how the dance goes in part.
So this was very macro musicality. We'll be going into other aspects of musicality throughout the month. And then I wanted to say this is all a lot of musical vocabulary and tools for knowing how songs works, but ultimately musicality is just dancing to the music. So it doesn't have to be all this complicated stuff. It's just listening to the music and dancing how it makes you feel to dance.
Yeah. So. See you next week.
Yay!